Good afternoon, or no, morning still. Ultimate Coach Facebook family. Hope you're all doing well. It is Friday. Absolutely a glorious, beautiful day here on the Tampa Bay. I don't know that I've done a live. Hey, Martha. I don't know that I've done a live on a Friday. So we'll see who's watching. But, you know, they record these things. Joe McGinn. Aloha, brother. Happy Friday. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I want to talk today about something that really, in my mind, matters as far as it goes to creating a powerful life. I think Steve talks about this in the book. Hey, Steve Shaw. And he talks about how the brain is just this incredible GPS. The mind is a GPS that can navigate to wherever you want to go to. And part of the challenge is we're often navigating subconsciously. We're navigating to places that we're unaware we're navigating to. Most of what I do all day long, hello California, is sit across from people virtually or physically, doesn't matter, and ask the question, what do you want? What do you desire? Where are you trying to get to? And I believe in my heart that just the asking of that question serves people powerfully, because most people don't ask that question. Most people are trying to get through the day, get to the weekend, get through the weekend, get through the week, get to the end of the month, end of the quarter, end of the year, get to the grocery store, get the kids to school, right? What do they want? What are they playing for? Where are they trying to get to? It's fairly subsistence, right? It's getting by. And I'm not criticizing anybody, right? Life can fill up really quickly so that it can feel busy, and a lot of our beings are conditioned to create busyness. So it's no surprise that a lot of this, hey, where are you headed? It's like, over there, trying to get that done, trying to get that finished, trying to not fall behind, whatever. It's very, very low stakes stuff. So I spend most of my conversations trying to slow people down a little bit and really get them to ask the question, what do you want? In my Creating Your Extraordinary Life experience, which is one of the group things that I do, the participants keep what I call a dreaming journal. It's a very simple exercise. I adapted it from something in the way of mastery, but it's very simple. I have them go through a couple of steps to just settle their mind and their body and get grounded, and ask the question, what do I truly desire? In a quiet place, from a quiet state of mind, and see what emerges, right? So much of our life is reacting to what needs to be done. We don't spend a lot of time saying, well, where do I want to move towards? So participants in this group experience I have, one of the things we do is I call it, we get their dreaming muscle back in the gym. So every day they're supposed to do this dreaming journal exercise once a day and write something down. And it's really fun to see how it evolves over the weeks. Sometimes it's material stuff. I want a car or a house or what have you. Sometimes it's I want peace. It all depends. But simply the act of asking the question, what is it that I'd like to move towards, is powerful. I spent some time, about a month ago, with a gentleman who sold his company, had cashed out, right? He was living the dream. He was on the other side of the rainbow, as I call it. And prior to building and selling this company, he had an incredible career in the military. And he was young, under 50, and he had lived more in his 40 something years than most people will live their entire life. And his struggle really was he didn't know what else there was that he could even create. He had created so powerfully in his life, and everything he'd created up here in his mind, he'd produced in the world. He was out of what else he could create. So all we did was spend 2 hours creating a different realm, a different level, a different spectrum of what he could even create in life. And leaving him from that conversation, what I know to be true is simply the ability to conceive of the things that he wants to move towards will get him there. So we're talking about this idea of creating life from who we're being, and that creating life requires, just like your GPS requires a destination. Where are you trying to get to? It requires two things: where are you at and where are you trying to get to? And most people don't spend much time thinking about this question: where do I want to be? Where do I want to get to? What do I want to create? So here's where I want to get a little more granular in the conversation, a little more pointed. And, the fundamental question is, where are you navigating to? Where are you trying to navigate to in your life? Are you aware to a destination? The follow-on question is, are you navigating towards a destination or a concept? So, first and foremost, most people don't think at all about where do they want to get to. Those that do, what I find more often than not, almost always, is when pressed for a destination, they don't have one, they have a concept. A concept is, I want to go to dinner. A destination is Il Ritorno on Central Avenue tomorrow at 7 p.m. That's the difference, right? A concept is, I'd love to have a yummy dinner. A destination is, here's where we're having dinner. And the same is true with life. I've had the opportunity to coach a lot of very successful entrepreneurs and founders who've exited their companies. And invariably, when I sit them down and say, okay, well, what do you want to do now, or what do you want to do when you exit? And the answer is almost always some version of, I want to spend more time with my family, I want to travel, and I want to give back. Sometimes they throw in, I want to play more golf or something. Well, I call that the t-shirt and bumper sticker answer, because I could put that in a gift shop and everybody would buy it. What are you going to do when you retire? What are you going to do when you cash out? Give back. Spend more time with my family. Play more golf. Travel. Concepts, not destinations. And they'll say something wacky like, well, where do you want to go? What do you mean? Well, you said you want to travel. Where do you want to travel to? Well, I haven't thought of that. Okay. You want to give back. What does that look like? Well, I haven't thought of that. Oh, you'll think of it someday. You're navigating towards a concept. You're creating a concept in your head. It's not a destination. Destinations are specific. I can program my GPS to them. Concepts are not. Other folks that I talk to, what do you want? What do you want to create in your life? What do you want to navigate towards? Financial freedom. One of my favorite answers, because it means nothing. Most people, when asked, will say they want financial freedom, and then I say, tell me about this place. And then they start kind of mumbling and babbling. Like, how much money do you believe would be in the bank such that you'd be at the destination called financial freedom? And people haven't thought about it. Hum as in not sure what I'm saying, Martha, because I can go over it again. A concept is something general and conceptual. A destination is something specific. And the analogy I used was, I can have a concept of, I'm going to enjoy a nice yummy dinner this weekend, or I can have a destination. I've got a reservation at Il Ritorno in St. Petersburg at 7 p.m. on Saturday. One of those things I can navigate very skillfully towards. The other, hey, good morning, Kai. The other, I might or I might not. So it really comes down to, how do we turn our concepts into destinations? It's not a criticism of people having concepts. It's not saying you're doing it wrong. It's just saying that when you are trying to navigate and create your life with concepts, it takes longer, and you might not get there or get where you think. So to the degree to which you can be aware to, you're navigating and living into a future dominated by concepts, right? And shift those concepts to destinations, you'll have a more powerful way of being in the world. And since we're talking about being, know that this whole notion of I create concepts versus destinations is a function of our being. Why is it that somebody would not have a clear view of, nope, I want 10 million in the bank, 100,000 a year in passive income, all that stuff? Great question, Dennis. This is what I'm answering right now. It's not that they don't know what they want. It's that their being does not allow them to create specifics about what they want, right? Their being resists creating a specific, measurable, time-bound future reality, usually because the degree to which the being sees itself as worthy or deserving. Yes, Kai, being gives us our actions. So it's tempting to look at somebody and say, well, why don't you have destinations? You just got a bunch of concepts. Well, fill in the blanks. You can do that, and I did that for a lot of years. What is more powerful is to look at who am I being that creates my future conceptually rather than specifically. Who am I being that doesn't feel comfortable, doesn't feel deserving, doesn't feel worthy to put a number up on the board or a location on the map or whatever. I was talking to somebody the other day and asked what he wanted to create, and he said, well, I want to give back, create, charitable giving concept. I said, that's interesting. How much do you want to charitably give? And he's like, ooh, I hadn't thought of that. I said, well, think of it. Pick a number. Well, I would need to, no, you don't. You don't need to get out a calculator or an abacus. Just pick a number. Pick a number. Who cares? We're just talking. We're just goofing around. There's a being that wants to get it right, wants to know they can accomplish it before they talk about it. That's all functions of being. I don't have that as my being. I have a being that says I make it up and then I move towards it and then I change it if it's not working. So he said $100,000. I said, cool. What do you mean, a month or a year or what? He goes, a year. I said, cool. How about 100,000 a month for 10 years? He goes, ooh, that's even more fun. Right now we're playing. Now we're creating. Now we're making the destination even more interesting. When you shift from conceptual to a destination, a concept to a destination, general to specific, abstract to tangible, you can sort of play with that and have more fun. What's up, Eric? Happy Friday, brother. We're talking about navigating life, creating a vision for our future, who we're being that does that, and how many folks who they're being choose not to create at all any vision of it. And when they do choose to create, they typically create in the form of concepts. What's up, Mr. Lofholm? They create conceptually. They can create concepts, not destinations, and it takes longer. Part of the reason I'm able to create so powerfully is I seek to shift concepts to destinations and then come up with even more interesting and more powerful destinations. And this magical GPS navigates there. But you want to look at who are you being that either doesn't have a set of destinations or doesn't even have concepts, or is resisting turning concepts into destinations. Think about it. When you start to spit out what you want, do you notice resistance there? Thank you, Eric. Hey, Lori. Is the resistance there? This isn't simply an exercise of, okay, well, let me get a different kind of journal and come up with better destinations. It really is an opportunity to look at, man, I'm blushing with all these hearts. It's an opportunity to look at the being that doesn't create tangible, specific, time-bound, meaningful, powerful destinations. It's an opportunity to look at the being that says, and I'm filling in some blanks here, I don't deserve that, right? Why is it one person can say, oh yeah, I'm creating 10 million in personal wealth so I can, retire in 5 years, blah, 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 and they've got a tangible destination, and another person has nothing or has a very high level view of, I want financial freedom. Why is that? Well, it's not because somebody has a better to-do list or better process for creating destinations. It's who they're being. It's the being that says, well, I can't put that down there. I don't deserve that. Or I can't put that on a piece of paper. What if I don't get there? Right? That's a being that needs to be certain. One of the powerful things about this being that's talking to you is I have no need for certainty. I create with commitment. I put something out there and I move towards it, and it gets where it gets. I am rarely, if ever, being certain. I am being fun. I am being playful. I am being, let's see where this goes. I don't give a shit if what I said happens exactly the way I said it happens. I'll clean up my mess if I need to. Yeah, I'm being imagination, Martha. That's great, right? And it's not like, well, you just need to have a better imagination. You need to look at the being that doesn't think imagination is the right tool for the job, right? A lot of people, seriously, when we talk about this, they say, well, I want to come up with a destination, but I want it to be achievable or practical. And I'm like, why? Right? Great question, Steve. We could talk a lot about commitment. Commitment creates certainty. Certainty doesn't create commitment, is what I'll say on that. A commitment to a destination will produce certainty over time towards that destination. Waiting for certainty to create commitment, well, that'll make it go a lot slower. But that's a longer conversation. What's up, Rich? Hey, brother. Good to see you. So, hopefully some of that's useful. This really is about creating life. How do you want to navigate? Where do you want to navigate to? And don't get hung up on, I don't have the right list, or I don't have the right criteria, or I'm not doing this right. Use how you're creating life or not creating life as an opportunity to look upstream at the being that believes that's how we do it, right? Well, it has to be practical. Okay, well, you're being practical. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can choose to be imaginative. You can choose to be creative. You can choose to be another way for the purposes of navigating your life in the moment. Have an amazing Friday. Have an amazing weekend. Much love to all of you.